Hello everyone, you're very welcome. In this video, we're going to completely disassemble a running 1958 NSU Prima. That might seem like an odd thing to do, but we covered the reasons why this is necessary in the previous video. So by the end of this video, we will be looking at a completely naked frame. And for everyone's sake, I hope it belongs to the scooter. Let's begin. The first thing I'm going to do is break the wheel nuts. I don't plan on removing the wheels just yet, but this is a general principle for any car or bike. Wheel fasteners should always be loosened with the vehicle fully on the ground when it's nice and stable. Continuing the wheel theme, I'm removing the carrier and spare wheel next. This hubcap is not original, it's a homemade replacement. The correct part for this model should have pressed concentric rings. Looks like we've already begun the list of stuff I don't have yet. We can see here the secret to this scooter's comfortable ride. Each saddle has its own shock absorber. What I'm really interested in, however, is whether there is another secret here. The stock Prima saddles should be a springy, natural rubber material, but a previous owner has wrapped these ones with this leather effect material. I'd like to know why. These saddles have completely disintegrated and are not safe. The saddle interfaces with the shock absorber via a conventional ball and socket joint. Had the seat collapsed while riding, my main concern is where the shock absorber would have gone. I'm on a mission to remove the glued-on spurious items, but I'm also interested to know how much originality is still present. We have a taillight and stoplight bulb here. There they are in the legend, uppercase F and G. Let's try find them on the diagram. The bulbs are serviced by wires lowercase a and F. And lowercase a and F should be coloured black and blue, which is what we have here. That's great news. The more original wiring we find, the easier it is to pattern copy and reproduce a new wiring loom. I'm moving to the front of the scooter now to remove this fork cowling. This is actually a cast metal item, and it's really light. We've peeled back just enough skin to now talk about one of the more interesting aspects of the classic Italian scooter design. These vehicles were not designed by motorcycle engineers. They were in fact designed by aeronautical engineers, and we can see many aircraft design characteristics in their construction. At the superficial level, we have already seen things like these scoops that look like jet engines, but when we delve deeper, a significant amount of the scooter is manufactured from aluminium, just like an airplane. For me though, the steering gives it away. Almost all motorcycles use a telescopic fork steering assembly, but scooters employ this single strut steering design. The very same as the nose wheel on aircraft landing gear. Even the front mudguard, this lovely teardrop shape, mimics the wheel spats fitted to light aircraft. Anyway, back to disassembly. The best preserved item on this scooter is the instrument panel. That's great news, as refurbishing this unit is complicated. I'm really fortunate that this item is in such good condition, and to keep it that way, I'm putting it in the German air-cooled section for safekeeping. I keep finding wires that have been glued together. This is never a good look. Neither is the use of multiple fastener types, which require the use of multiple tools. In a workshop, it's an inconvenience, but by the side of the road, an impediment. The decorative side strips were glued on too, not what the manufacturer intended. With the strips detached, the leg shield can now be flexed just enough for removal, but I'll temporarily replace it as it makes a handy work surface. I have yet to find two of any one type of fastener. The fuel tank is the next item to be removed, as I'll need to use heat to remove the exhaust pipe underneath. Smoking hot metal under a leaky fuel tank is one way of ruining a future eyebrow modelling career, so the tank has to go. See if you can spot the fuel leak here. Wow. Fuel dropping onto a hot engine is the least preferred method of warming one's buttocks. The fuel itself is heavily contaminated. The dark patches in the clear hose are buildups of metal sediment that are looking for an engine to ruin. If we look closely, we can see individual particles moving through the stream. The engine could have been protected by fitting an inline fuel filter similar to this one. Bet that sound is making you want to pee. With the cooling shroud removed, enough space is created to extract the fuel tank. We're beginning to run out of Prima. I don't want to risk damaging the cylinder, so I'm using plenty of penetrating fluid. Heating the casting all the way around makes it expand, allowing the fluid to penetrate deeper, loosening the bond between surfaces. It needs to be smoking hot. I've disconnected all wires and controls to the engine. While disconnecting the gear selector cables, I noticed one of the adjusters had broken off inside the casing. This might be a contributor to our gear selection issue mentioned in part 1. The engine is mounted by 2 upper engine to frame mounts and 1 lower. This is called a stressed member engine, whereby the engine is an active element of the vehicle frame as opposed to being simply cradled inside it. Once again, I'll be using my trusty scissors jack to stabilise the frame and keep it upright while I unbolt the engine. This is necessary because the centre stand pivots around the lower engine mount and therefore must also be removed. With the frame steady, the engine can be unbolted. We'll become properly acquainted with this little rascal later in the series. Finally, the steering can be removed. Some persuasion with a dead blow hammer, and we're almost ready to send ball bearings all over the workshop floor. With the steering extracted from the frame, only now can the front mudguard be removed. And here we are as promised. One nude scooter. That's it for now. Call back next time to see where this frame will take us. Until then, slán go fóill.